Hi guys, this is not a typical little bit of everything family. That's why my kids are not in here. Now, this is a video that is a serious topic. It has to do with mental health and the importance of you getting help when you're struggling with mental health and addiction. As a professional, you are welcome to DM me on my personal Instagram account. I have left it on here for you guys. If you guys follow me, do so. DM me. I will give you as many resources and as much help as I can give you. The name of the account is BUMBLEBEETUNNA34. So Bumblebee Tuna 34 with a double N on the tuna. So if you guys can just, I don't know if you guys can see that, but if you guys can screenshot that right there. Bumblebee Tuna with a double N and 34. If you guys want to DM me, I will be more than happy to give you guys advice if I could. Of course, it'll be just on a personal basis. I can't do it in a professional platform, but I am willing to talk to you guys. Maybe we can talk together. I'm here to help if I can help in any way, shape, or form. I also struggle with anxiety, so I can kind of give you guys some of the coping mechanisms. I can send you some videos and some really good resources to help you kind of cope with certain things like grief, panic attacks, just depression, stuff like that. Like I said, I will not be doing it in a professional platform because I'm still working on my internship hours, so I'm not quite there yet, but I can help you at least to the point where I can give you some resources, some amazing numbers where you can call and reach out for help. Now, the reason why I'm saying all this is, unfortunately, yesterday, Rob and Michelle Reiner were murdered by their son, who had a long history of mental health issues and substance abuse issues. I want a little bit of everything family to come together as a chain of prayer. All 800 of us that are here, 800 plus of us that are here, and form a chain of prayer for the Reiner family. It is a tragedy that I wouldn't want to wish. And I wouldn't wish this on my worst enemy. Not only did, and the saddest part, I think, to me, just in the overall situation, I know that death is inevitable and eventually we all pass away, but the fact that their daughter found her parents, it's kind of like going back to Joel Guy and his situation where he like murdered his parents, and they found him later on. He was cooking the mom's head, and then he had disintegrated their bodies in acid. Look up Joel Guy and you'll see what I'm talking about. Joel Guy, G-U-Y, Guy. The story is horrific, so trigger warning to everybody. This is a trigger warning video. I want to talk to you guys as adults. This is not a kid-friendly platform right now. This is me speaking to you as a human, as a mom, as a woman, and as a friend. If you guys are needing that help, please reach out. It's important. It's important for me to know that you guys are okay. As I said, when you guys sign on and subscribe to A Little Bit of Everything Family, you are my family now. So I am here to help as much as I possibly can, and I will. Like, I'm not feeling my greatest today. After I heard that story, and because I suffer from mental health, it kind of makes me wonder, like, what can the mind really do? And studying the mind is a very powerful muscle, and it gives signals to do things, right, that could be dangerous, like Nick, what he did in this situation. Not only was he suffering with mental health issues, but also addiction. And those two things combined, I would not know his mindset. You know what I mean? Like, people like me, we go to counseling and therapy, but some people who are addicted don't believe in that stuff. And I don't know if, I'm just saying, this is all speculatory. I don't know if he got the help and if they tried every avenue to help him. And some people can get help and some people can't. Like for me, I a lot of counseling, a lot of coping medications. I have to be on medications, but I look forward to just being healthy. That's why I do everything I can to keep myself healthy. But as far as like hurting myself or others, it just doesn't sink in my brain that's something. It's just more so like getting over the panic attacks and getting over the anxiety and the physical problems that happens with anxiety. I'm not depressed or anything like that, so please don't think I'm depressed. But that's what I wanted this to be about. I want a huge chain, and I want you to put it in the comments. I want a prayer emoji or a white heart emoji or a dove for the Reiner family. You guys get together. A Little Bit Everything family, we're a strong community. We're 800 plus strong, and I love you. Special shout out to each and every one of you. If you guys need me, please reach out to me. DM me on Instagram. I'll be looking out for your DMs if you guys need to talk, even just to chit chat, even just to have a chit chat with you guys. I'm open to it. My thing is to help as many people as possible get out of situations like mine with anxiety and panic attacks, and maybe you just need a resource, and I can get to you. I will be more than able to do that. I am a very sad heart because this is not the first thing that's happened. Now I'm going to read what the United States President. Let's read it. What did the United States President say about the murders of the Reiners? All right, so, gosh, I gotta look for it. So, Mr. President, I do not, I respect you as a president, but this quote, I'm quoting here, okay? Trump, in a post on a social media network, said Reiner and his wife were killed reportedly due to anger he caused others through his massive, unwielding, and incurable affliction with a mind-crippling disease known as Trump derangement syndrome. He said Reiner was known to have driven people crazy by his raging obsession of President Donald J. Trump, with his obvious paranoia reaching new heights as the Trump administration surpassed all goals and expectation to greatness. The president did not mention his personal connection to the wife, and who was a photographer. Peter Osnos, the original publisher of The Art of the Deal, confirmed Monday that Michelle Singer took cover image of Trump's 1997 bestseller. So he not only did he know them, but he knew them personally from The Art of the Deal. If you guys remember the book, The Art of the Deal, I condemn all type of rhetoric when it comes to people dying. I condemn it. Okay, I'm sorry. I don't like to really criticize in politics, but this right here is absolutely not okay. Like, you cannot do this and say, like, they died at the hands of a person with mental health issues. This was not Trump derangement syndrome. This was not a lunatic leftist. It was not a right conspiracy theorist. This was a man who was struggling with mental health issues on here and addiction issues. That's who killed his own parents. Now think about that for a second. This has nothing to do with politics. It has to do with just human defect is what it is. When we go through something, we're struggling with PTSD, or we're struggling with anxiety, or whatever it is, and then you take street drugs or whatever other type of drugs you're taking, and it alters the mind. And it is very, very sad. It's a sad day. I feel that flag should be at half staff like they did with Charlie Kirk. I think every single flag should be at half staff, especially because these are friends of Trump's, friends of the president. So I think they should be. But with the type of rhetoric like this, the backlash is inevitable, right? So all I want to say is that we should remember people. This man, Reiner, was very good. Regardless of how you felt of Rob Reiner, this is inappropriate and disrespectful discourse about a man who was brutally murdered. And this was Thomas Massey who wrote that in a post on X. I guess my elected GOP colleagues, the vice president and the White House staff, will just ignore it because they're afraid. I challenge anyone to defend it. Marjorie Taylor Greene stated, that was from Massey. Marjorie Taylor Greene stated, a Georgia Republican whom Trump branded as a traitor for disagreeing with him responded to Trump's message by saying, this is a family tragedy, not about politics or political enemies. Agree. Republican Mike Lawler of New York and Stephanie Bryce of Oklahoma, who are not known for pushing back on the White House, also criticized Trump's message. So let's remember Reiner, a director who beloved films like Princess Bride and When Harry Met Sally, which are like some of my favorite movies, was one of the most active Democrats in the film industry and regularly campaigned on behalf of liberal causes and hosted fundraisers. He was a vocal critic of Trump, calling him in 2017 interview mentally unfit. So there was some, back and forth, but not in a tragedy. The single most unqualified human to be president, that's his opinion, not mine, that's his opinion. And the most single, and he the most unqualified human to ever assume the presidency of the United States. The White House, which shared the president's post, did not respond to any message about the criticism. It was receiving calls for Trump to just take it down. Now, even though you're not a fan, or if you are a fan or whatever, family tragedies are that, family tragedies, and we got to respect the family. Okay, if you are enemies, just don't say anything at all. I think silence always speaks louder than words, and just be silent if you don't want to respect the family, because I can't imagine what that daughter walked into when she seen her parents stabbed to death by her brother. I mean, it just hurts my heart inside, and I am like distraught at the whole situation. I respect the administration, I respect the presidency, because that's what we're supposed to do. I respect it, but that type of talking points are just simply not okay. This is a family tragedy and we should grieve. Also, I want to take the time to send my prayers, of course, because that's all we do. We just send thoughts and prayers to the students who were killed and those 9 injured at Brown University, one of the most prominent universities. I would like to understand the FBI, what we're doing here. You have somebody in custody, but then you let him go. There was evidence, but there wasn't evidence. Like, make up your mind here, Kash Patel. I'm very confused. Did we have somebody in custody and we just let him go because there wasn't enough evidence? Or I was a little confused by the back and forth. So if you guys can clear that up, please, I really appreciate it to see if there was somebody caught or not. That's all I ask. And that's the only question I have, And this was from the president saying that there was somebody caught, and then 20 minutes later retracted and said no, there wasn't nobody caught. So I just want to know where we're at, because there's still students at that school, and I'm scared for them. I'm scared for any student at school. That's why I choose to homeschool my children. And last but not least, we've lost so many people. It's insane. How many people are just getting shot down, or murdered, or stabbed. This is where law enforcement should be stepping in. This is where to see if there's some kind of problem with somebody on Instagram or TikTok, or especially X, where they have so much rhetoric and so much racism. And I'm sorry, but I gotta say it, there's a lot of it. And so if somebody's like having mental health issues and crying out for help, and this is where like counterintelligence or intelligence should kick in and say like, hey, you know what, there's a flag here. This person's saying about knives, or this person's saying like, I'm gonna shoot up a school, or I think there's like links to all this stuff, and I think they like to post, like to gloat about it. So I think this is where the FBI should really like step there, instead of like focusing on other things. We should focus on what's going on online, because as one of a very prominent person now, Erica Kirk, is saying, parents, we should be looking out to see what our kids are doing, right? Which is backlash on Erica Kirk as well. There's backlash because she's fighting with Candace Owens. Everybody's fighting with each other. Listen, my input on all that, and I'm not going to give an input on it, but you guys, the bickering and the fighting. Erica is the wife. She's grieving her husband. Candace is the best friend. She's grieving her best friend. They're going to have Clash of the Titans, because you can tell, Erica said, please just stop. But if you have a friend who loves another friend and doesn't agree with certain things from the DOJ or from the FBI, she wants to look further. She's going to look further. And so you can tell somebody to stop doing their thing, but they won't do it. And the fact, Erica, and this is where I'm very disappointed in Erica, and I, like I said, she's a grieving wife. I don't know what she's feeling. She's with her children. I have just a message for you. Why didn't you condemn political violence when you were on that CBS show? You didn't condemn it. You danced around it like a sombrero. That's what you did. You danced around it. And you did not, in my opinion, did not answer the question of the young man who was there when your husband was executed, murdered, assassinated, whatever you guys want to call it. How come you didn't answer the question? You were asked a specific question and you didn't. You should have said, absolutely, I condemn it. I absolutely condemn anyone. And you don't have to say names, who has the agenda of spewing hate and political violence. It's against my moral compass. I am a good Christian. God wouldn't have wanted it this way. That's what you should have said, because that's what good Christians say. That's the only critique I have. I have nothing else. The fact that people are saying she's a grifter, she's grieving by the dollar, she's becoming a multi-millionaire, selling books, putting up her diamond rings. That's fine. She could do all that. That's on her, But I totally disagreed with her, and this is the only thing that I'm going to disagree with is, like I said, I understand that she's a grieving widow, We do crazy things, I guess, when we lose someone. But the fact of the matter is, she looked very sane to me. And she could have easily looked straight in the eye of the camera and said, President Trump, Democrats, Republicans, starts from the top, stop it, instead of attacking parents. Parents are not responsible for an 18-year-old's mental health. A 19-year-old, a 20-year-old, a 22-year-old, they have their own life. So for you to say that, if you're talking about children, I homeschool 5 of my children. They're very good Christian children. They're very good, never say a bad word. And do they have time to go on the internet? Absolutely. But do they go down rabbit holes? No, they do not. They're not allowed to. So to say that parents step up, well, here's my thing for you. I'm a parent that steps up. I'm a parent that's going to pay attention. And I don't involve my kids in politics. I don't involve myself in that stuff. Or my kids do not get involved in any type of that stuff. Because that's my responsibility. When they're older and they understand, they comprehend what's going on in this country, then we should talk about it. But the fact of the matter is, you said, like, parents, what are you doing? Step in. Here's your iPad. Go to a corner. Why go to Pilates? I'm a mom that stays home 24/7. I don't go nowhere. I don't do anything. But watch out, because one is I have children with special needs. I got 3. And mommy has to be around for the things that they need and require. So to tell me to step up is incredulous almost. To step up more, I would need like 50 of me to step up and be like looking at every single corner. But like I said, my children don't get involved in none of that stuff. There's called restrictions. There's called parental controls. And the fact of the matter is, like I said, most of these people assaulting and killing and murdering and assassinating are not 6-year-olds, are not 7-year-olds. They're adults. So how is a parent supposed to step in? That's all I'm going to say. I don't want this to be controversial. May Charlie rest in peace. May Rob. My gosh. It's just so sad. May Rob Reiner rest in peace with his wife Michelle, and to their daughter, my deepest condolences. And Nick, I can't say like I understand. I just really wish that you would have gotten the help that you desperately seeked, or maybe that your parents desperately seeked for you. Sometimes it doesn't work out that way, you guys, though. But again, I'm here for you. A little bit of everything in family is good for you. If you don't check me out, go check me out at Cute Tattoo Girl, or Dr. Cute Tattoo Girl PhD, which is my other channel. I talk about more serious issues. But I wanted to make this video, you guys, because it's important. It's a sad thing for me. It's sad because it has to do with mental health. And it really just aches me that this young man was not, maybe he needed to be institutionalized. I'm not sure. Maybe he needed to put into rehab. Maybe he didn't want it. Like I said, we as parents can only go so far when it comes to our adult children. They don't have to take our advice. They don't have to do what we tell them to do. They're adults. So with that, you guys, I'm so sorry. I don't want to offend anyone. That's just my opinion. You can agree to disagree. I want your discourse in the comments. I want to hear what you got to say. And I really want you guys to, I want to hear your input. I want you guys to read. And I want you guys to communicate with me. And like I said, I want prayers up for the University of Brown students. I want prayers up for the Reiner family. I want prayers up for anyone who's going through mental health crisis. I want your prayers up for America, because we need prayers for this country. This country is divided. God bless you guys. Always sending our love from our family to yours, and to those who are gone, you are never forgotten. God bless you, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Again, this is not a video for kids. Trigger warning. It's not. I love you guys, and I hope you guys have a wonderful afternoon.